Welcome to the Lazy Actor Podcast with your host, Ivan Wanis Ruiz.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Lazy Actor, the podcast that goes through the great acting books in history so that you don't have to because you're lazy. You're a lazy bastard. You're too busy trying to figure out what shirt to wear, even though you're probably not wearing any pants. With me, as always, is our producer, Tim from RadioRadio.com. Tim, how you doing, my friend?
I am fantastic, and Yvonne, I cannot wait to get you back in the studio. That's all I have to say.
We're going to be going back into the studio so you can hear some better quality sound and video. And with me today is the Toronto legend, also not wearing any pants, but he's an amazing guy. He's the boss. Tony Nappo, my friend, how are you?
I am the laziest fucking actor alive. And this is where I should be.
Correlatively, probably one of the busiest in the city.
Sure.
But I want to start off today. We are going to be going into our book with Michael Shurtleff, your Audition.
Okay. Sure.
But I want to start off today with a note about Tony. And we're going to talk a little bit about Tony. One of the listeners said it'd be good to have a bit more background on the actors you're here as guests. And we're going to talk to Tony about his background in a minute. But Conviction is where I met Tony Nappo.
Right.
Conviction. And being like an actor role, like a principal, where it's 5 lines or less. I always say it's like showing up the new kid when you show up to the last year of high school and you walk into the lunchroom and all the social groups are already established and everyone knows each other and you're the one kind of like, what's up, everybody? And that's how I feel every time I'm on set, except for the time I was on Conviction, because Tony was the first actor ever to be like, hey, what are you doing? In his Tony way. He's like, listen, come sit with me and have lunch. Let's talk. Let's hang out a little bit. And I was like, I would love to. Because I was going to grab my thing and go to the trailer because that's what you usually do because you don't know anybody.
Right.
And then that was probably the first, last, and only time that I had it was you, me, and then another guy. I can't remember his name.
Was it, I don't remember.
But the three of us sat down and we just had a nice lunch.
Oyster Chow?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Because he plays all the
guys on everything I've ever done.
He's the second busiest Tony. He's the second busiest actor.
Yeah. And he was on The Sopranos, so fuck him.
Oh, that's right, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, great guy, great actor.
And I just wanted to mention that out loud because that's one of the reasons I wanted to have Tony on. It's not only because he's a veteran actor, he's got great insights. It's also because he's genuinely an actor's actor in that you made me as like a newer actor in the city of Toronto feel very welcome, even though it was only that one day.
Everybody should. You know, I don't know why everybody doesn't.
And that humbleness of you is what would always impress me, and it made me want to be better. Like I figure if I ever get to Tony's level, I'm gonna be that guy. This is my fantasy. Because Tony's here. You know, I'm over here. I'm just creeping in.
Okay.
But when we both get to that next level, where we're actually co-star, you're series regular.
Sure.
I want to be that guy that goes into the extras room and be like, "How y'all doing? Thank you for being
always." Here. You know, if I'm in a scene with background, I try to always learn their names, depending on how many people there are, and engage with them, just because they're doing their job, same as I'm doing my job, same as the grips and the cameraman and. Everybody. I don't like the elitism in involvement. I mean, I want to be treated the way I want to be treated, but often background or even day players aren't treated that well, and I think that's bullshit. But it's just part of it. So
there is that hierarchy.
What little part I can do to make people feel welcome and comfortable, I'll always do that in life too. I'm kind of that kind of guy. I think I'm the nicest guy in the world that you could ever meet until you fuck with me, and then I'm the meanest motherfucker you'll ever meet.
And that's a great way. Tony's a really nice guy. I feel like we were talking earlier about you look like the mean pit bull that can look very mean, but he just wants to be loved by everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm a sad human being. I'm a very sad guy. I'm not depressed, but there's a sadness in me, and I try to just rise above it and be as happy as I can. I'm a drug addict too. I spent a lot of years just doing drugs to to shut my feelings down and not be sad. But I'm from Scarborough. I'm Italian, you know, so I'm loud by nature and by socioeconomic circumstances. And I was a fighter. I mean, so
Well, you know what? Let's get into that.
I don't want to fight. I don't want beefs with people. I'd rather just laugh and have a good time. But if somebody wants to step up or challenge me or threaten me or anyone close to me, I'll fucking kill them.
And what a great way to say, Tim, why don't we say goodbye to you for a little while? Because otherwise Tony will kick your ass.
All right, guys.
I love Tim already. I love Tim.
Yeah, Tim's great. Tim's great. We're gonna see Tim in a little bit.
About. Let's see where this goes.
So let's actually get started a little bit. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about your origin story in terms of you as an actor.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started, how you started learning, and how you broke from like just being someone who wants to be an actor to starting to actually work.
Sure. You covered like a lot of years there, but
I'll interrupt.
Essentially,
I'll interrupt and get the Coles notes.
Yeah, I'll give you like, I think the inception, or is that the right word? Or
yeah, inception.
The inception was I grew up super poor in Scarborough, and I lived in a house where the TV went on in the morning. Whoever woke up first turned it on, and whoever went to bed last turned it off. It was always on. And it was like, it was a lot of the time it was my friend, it was my escape, it was my whatever. My imagination was pretty active. I remember lying in my bed and sort of imagining myself in these epic adventures and stories and shit. But it was never something I realistically wanted to pursue because we were so poor, you know? I mean, that seems like the dumbest fucking career choice you could make. And I was really good at school. I just was naturally smart or able to learn quickly. And I had no trouble getting great marks and so on and so forth. So I went to university. I wanted to be an English teacher because I had an English teacher in high school, Don Tricello, who was great and taught me how to understand the written word and appreciate it. And then when I was at university, I had a TA or a professor. I think she was a TA at the time, Kathy Smith at U of T in Scarborough. And she took me into her office one day. She said, "What are you going to do with your life?" I said, "I'm going to be an English teacher." She said, "What about acting?" I said, "I like it. I think I'd like to, you know, do some."
Had you dabbled in university or something?
I took an acting class, you know, because I figured maybe I'd meet some girls and that'd be an easy credit.
As we all do, right? High school and university,
and it
sure.
was an easy credit, and I met some girls. But I also was really naturally good at it. And, you know, like I grew up, I was a bit of a mama's boy when I was a kid. My dad made me get into boxing, and I played a lot of sports. I'm not a natural tough guy. But in Scarborough, you know, and where I lived, it was who could fuck the most, fight the most, and drink the most. So I pretended
the Tony Nappo story
to be that guy, right? I pretended to be that guy I've been acting most of my life, like trying to, you know, be a tough guy. I don't even know if I was a tough guy, but in my mind, I was just doing what everyone else did. And then at university, my friends all went other ways. Nobody. So suddenly this was a new start for me. And I could explore something like acting, you know, like in high school, they did West Side Story. And I remember watching it because I was there. I'm not doing fucking theater, you know.
Yeah.
I was on a football team and all that. But I was watching it and I was like, you know, I love this. I wish I was up here, you know.
And it's so funny as men, we're constantly like, we're not allowed to be vulnerable.
We're not supposed to be, no.
Yeah.
Not where I came from. I remember one time I got a dart thrown into my leg and I was like 12 and I was crying and it killed. It was like mid-thigh. And my dad, I called my dad and said, "Hey, come pick me up. I got a dart in my leg and it hurts." And he showed up and he goes, "Tell me which leg." And I go, "This one." And he goes, "Bam! Doesn't hurt. Bam! It doesn't hurt." And that's what I was taught growing up. Don't feel anything, you know? Don't show pain. Don't cry. And now I cry like, you know, I'll probably cry
this
during
morning.
I cry nonstop. My daughter's always laughing at me like, "You crying again? Jesus Christ, Dad, be a man."
So you got into university. You dabbled in acting.
So
You graduate. You have your English degree.
So I have to hold on. Let me just skip the end of that story. Kathy says to me, "What are you going to do with your life?" I said, "I'm going to be a teacher." She says, "Well, I'm going to tell you one thing, and I've only told this to one other person ever. If you study this properly, I think you could make a living doing this for the rest of your life." And she gave me the number of the one other person to call. And I called him, and he had gone to a school called the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York. And by the end of that phone call, I decided I'm going to drop out of university. I'm going to pursue this. And that person was who I was speaking to, Enrico Colantoni, who is one of the leads on Flashpoint and Just Shoot Me, and he's brilliant in Galaxy Quest. We've worked together on Bad Blood and a couple of different movies, and
Wow.
and so that, two conversations changed the path of my entire life. And I might have come to it some other way, but I didn't. That's the story, and that's how it happened. So I just want to make sure everybody got the credit there in that.
Oh, I mean, and
story before we moved on.
It's such a beautiful story. And, it's such a thing where all of us wish that someone would recognize. This is a thing with actors. They're very sensitive. They all want to have someone that recognizes them for at a young age. And it's actually the exception, not the rule.
Yeah. And I probably was waiting for permission to do this, because in my world, who the fuck am I to want to be an actor? What makes me think I can do that? And, but secretly, I've been imagining myself in TV stories since I could remembering.
So that conversation happened, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do this now."
Yeah.
What were your next steps in terms of learning how to train and finding an agent? Like, walk us through some of that little bit of a journey.
Well, I mean, once I was at school, the school itself.
And we have to remember, everyone, this was in 1927. When Tony was 37 years old.
All right, you be careful.
I just say that.
Be careful starting your car, motherfucker.
I just say that because every email back and forth with Tony and me, it's been like, da da da. I'm old. That's it. Da da da. I'm old.
You're right. You're telling me, like, can you? I mean, I don't understand technology. How the fuck are we talking to each other right now? How are we even communicating?
I know, it's fucking magic. It's
magic.
Mental. All right, so let's walk through the next steps.
So I go to school. I'm in New York. I've never been on a plane because we don't have enough money. I get an OSAP loan, a grant and a loan, I think, to go to school outside of Canada, which at the time you could do. And at the time, the tuition was, I think, $6,000 a year or something at this school in New York, which now is like 20,000. It's like 20,000 a year now. And I didn't have the money, but I got loans, and I'd worked at Centenary Hospital for years. I had a bit of money saved up. Anyway, so I get there. That's how I get there. I fill a hockey bag with all my belongings. I get on the train, and I take the train to New York. So that I stay at the YMCA till I find a couple of friends, and we find an apartment, and then that stuff goes on. So school itself. We start with Meisner. That's what we first do. Meisner exercises. And, it takes like 6 months for the penny to drop. But once it dropped, it dropped. Once you understand the moment and being in the moment, that's a really important bit of foundation. We studied theater history, voice and movement, Shakespeare, whatever people study. But I studied it all day, and then I had a job selling theater tickets for a ticket broker, and so we would get comped into shows at night. So in the daytime, I'm studying, and then at night, I'm seeing John Turturro on stage, Pacino, Lawrence Fishburne, Alec Baldwin, and on and on and on. I probably saw 100 shows while I was in New York.
And Tony, was this in like the 70s, the 80s? When was this?
It's
like
the early 80s.
Early 80s.
The late 80s. I actually arrived at school or in New York in 89.
Copy that.
Sorry. I gotta spit. And graduated in 91. So the program itself was 2 years. Then we had a showcase company year, and then that was it. Then I stuck around New York for maybe another year or so. My dad got sick. He needed a transplant. I came home. I got an agent when I came home. I met a woman. I got married. I never went back.
And let me jump in here for a second, because I want to highlight something in Tony's story, that it's only really in the world of acting where someone takes a weekend class and it's like, now I'm ready to be an actor. That happens all the time. And
Right.
one thing people don't realize is just the level when the dime dropped. 6 months, like full course load every day,
Yeah.
9 to 5, then living
Yeah.
and breathing theater, watching theater in the evening,
Yeah.
studying for your
Yeah.
scenes. They don't
Yeah.
realize the amount of work it goes into just to feel relaxed and in the moment.
Yeah,
even
and
after a year, 2
to
or 3 years,
understand
yeah,
what the moment means, and to understand what not being in your head means. I mean, I'm talking about these exercises. You know the exercises?
the Meisner ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, let's do one right now.
Your shirt is white.
Your shirt is white.
No, my shirt's blue.
Your shirt's blue.
My shirt is blue.
Your shirt is blue.
My shirt is blue.
Your shirt is blue.
My shirt is blue.
Do you think I can't see it?
I think you acting like you can't see it.
I can see it.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
You see it.
I see it.
You see my shirt.
I see your blue shirt.
You see my blue shirt.
Yes, I see your blue shirt.
You're bored? Are you bored with the conversation?
Why are you being so angry?
Am I annoying you? Why are you being so angry?
Why?
I'm not angry.
Okay,
I'm frustrated.
that's how I was feeling.
Well, I don't give a fuck how you're feeling.
Well, see, now you're gonna make me angry again.
Well, be angry.
Fine,
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
be angry. And then we go. Look at that. That was free acting class, you lazy
Yeah.
bastards. That was.
But that's
free
it.
acting
Yeah.
class.
But when it starts, you spend 6 months going, your shirt is white. My shirt is white. Your shirt is white. My shirt is white. Your shirt is white. My shirt is white. And then maybe after 2 weeks, you move on to another sentence, right?
Yeah. And that monotonous boredom of repetition is what
Yeah.
you need.
You do. You need to drill it. You need to the whole point of that exercise is you put all your attention on your partner, which is where it should be, whether you're on film. I mean, sometimes in film, your partner's not there. But when you're acting with someone, all your attention should be on them because you have an objective. And the only way you can tell if you're obtaining your objective is by watching the other person, right? And if it's well written, the flow should just be what we just did right there.
And I think that leads us, Tony, that leads us really well into the first kind of topic from the book itself.
Okay.
It was about being in the moment and stuff. And one of the things that so when I was reading this book, and we're going to talk about it, Michael Shurtleff, it jumps for me between like, this is just a bunch of like nice words to make it sound really interesting, but there's nothing I can take from this. And sometimes there's some really practical stuff. I want to get your opinion on this. I'm going to read this to you. This is what he says.
Okay.
He says, avoid hunking. So actors tend to play hunks instead of opposites.
Oh, right.
A hunk
Okay.
is a section of I love you, followed by a section of I resent you, followed by a section of go away. But he says playing opposites instead of hunks is the way to play. So for example, go like between all the lines, jumping between yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, instead of 10 minutes of yes and then 10 minutes of no.
Yeah, sure. I agree with that to whatever extent. I don't know about the exact language, and I don't know about what opposites means. But
What does it mean to
but
you?
yeah, but I look for variety in terms of what I'm doing. Sometimes it's just like if I've been loud for 2 exchanges, I'll consciously think, well, I should stop being loud because people aren't going to listen. More technical shit like that. But at the same time, you just have to honor the text and your objective and pursue it. I don't know that you have to make a point of I think what I hear when I hear that is don't play one fucking note, don't be one tone, be an interesting actor. And I think if you're specific about your actions and you're listening and it's well written, you shouldn't be one note. I remember I was on the jury once for the Actor Award. Aaron Poole won the award. And he won the award because he started to do this thing where he was really upset and he was just like on the verge of tears, and then he stopped, like he pulled it right back, and it was just this flash, and 95% of any other actors is gonna jerk off once they fucking find the tears. They're gonna keep. You're just gonna fucking cry like they're on a soap opera. And crying isn't fucking acting, but it can. But a lot of people who don't know acting confuse.
That's all they want to do. If they have a good cry and an emotional breakdown, you're so right.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? But Aaron, he started to sincerely go there, but then he pulled himself back and was trying to be strong. And that's what a person would do. You know, that's what a human being in a vulnerable position isn't gonna fucking. I mean, depending on the circumstance, but generally, somebody who's upset doesn't want you to see that they're upset, unless maybe they're manipulating you or they.
Yeah, when
your father
got
got
shot
in front of them.
hide it.
Yeah, but anyway,
you know, Tony, one of the things
it's about keeping it as simple as honest as possible all the time, and then if you can do that, variety should just come.
And one of the things that I take from what you're saying here is, and we're going to talk a little bit more about when you say like honoring the text and really kind of knowing what you want from the other person, is natural reactions come when you can free yourself from lines.
You know, you can't think and act at the same time. You can't think and act at the same time. You do all your thinking when you're preparing. You make all your choices when you're preparing. But when they call action, if you're listening to yourself, if you're not fully focused on the other person, if you're trying to remember lines, all that stuff just makes you shit. You know, you have to know your lines inside out and backwards, and nobody gives a fuck if you say them right. Nobody cares if you know the lines. They might occasionally be like, you missed this, we need this, and you do it again. I'm talking about film.
Yeah.
What they care about is that you nail the scene. Nobody gives a fuck what words you miss. But if you nail the scene and it's true, and you can do that take after take after take, that's your job. That's your job. You know?
And you know, Tony, I was in an audition for I can't remember what it was for. Anyway, it was a very interesting point. The casting director, she looked at me, she's like, Ivan, that was great, but it was too on. Like you have every single word. And she said, like, it's slop it up a little bit. Like slop it up, like, because the words weren't as important in film and television. In theater, it's another beast. In theater,
of course, theater is completely different. You have.
I always say, theater is like baking because you have to be exact with the ingredients.
Yeah.
But film and television, it's like, you know, I'm making a pasta sauce. I'm putting a little bit more and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You put a little bit more.
And if it doesn't taste good, you put more shit in, right?
And it's about the scene as a whole, or the getting to the next point in the plot. You know what I mean? And
because you know, when you audition, they're probably going to rewrite the scene 4 more fucking times before you film it.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not Shakespeare. It's fucking TV, right? Sometimes
it's not about your individual lines. It's about getting to the next part. Yeah. And
but even on really good TV, they're still changing it as they go, right?
And I'll tell you all something right now. Like, for example, this is what Tony means. I'm doing a show next week, and in the last 3 days, I may have gotten like 4 emails with like the revisions.
Oh yeah.
And it'll come on the day it comes. Yeah. We already got the sides, but on the day it'll still come. They're constantly revising.
You know what? I'm old and I've been doing this for a while now, and those muscles are strong, but I barely know the lines before my auditions. I like it that way. I never rehearse how I'm going to say the lines. You know what I mean? But I know the words and my objectives, and I'll drill it a few times. I'll be very familiar with the lines, but I won't know them. And I almost never look at my cue lines, so that I'll really have to be listening for the cue that makes sense for me to speak. You know, because that way you're not just waiting for your turn to speak. I'm listening. I kind of know what my next line is. I kind of see where you're going with it. And then when you stop Here's another thing actors don't do. The impulse to speak. This conversation we're having now.
Yeah.
Your impulse to speak doesn't happen when I finish talking. It happens while I'm talking. Right? Like right now, you want to say something, but I'm going to keep talking and you can't. But as soon as I stop talking,
conversations are cutting each other off.
Yeah.
Okay, you finish
So
what you're going to say, and then I'm going to tell you why I wanted to interrupt. Go.
Okay, go. No, fuck you, go.
All right, fuck you. All right, fine. It's literally,
I get sick of my own voice doing these things, honestly. So cut me off anytime you want.
No, Tony. I love you, and I know you're a good. Why I know Tony, so don't worry.
Yeah,
he literally talked about it in one of the sections we were going to talk about. Is people say too many actors act in between the lines, not during the
I
lines.
read that. Yeah, that's right. I remember reading.
That's literally what we're talking about right now.
Richard wrote, because here's what a bad actor does. You say all your lines, and I stare at you like I'm listening, but I'm not really listening.
Here, we're going to do one right now. This is great for the radio, but it's going to be on YouTube. Here, Tony, I'm going to feed you a line.
Okay.
You ready? This is this is the trap that all of you actors fall into.
Not all, but
sorry,
the
so
shitty
many
ones. Yeah.
And I don't know what she wants from me. It's been 3 times now that we've had to sit there and talk.
3 times. Wow.
And Michael Shurtleff literally talks about like the long gaps every actor wants in between every single line.
It's terrible. It's fucking terrible.
Now let's do that same thing again, and you give it to me how in like a natural kind of delivery, so people don't know you. Okay. And I don't know what she wants from me. It's been 3 times now, and
fuck her. Fuck what she wants from you.
That's what here's the thing that people aren't. If you watch,
because as soon as you said, I don't know what she wants from me, I know what my answer
right away.
there.
You went with your reaction.
I just have to wait for you to take a breath so that I can say it.
And then I saw Tony, like when it said, I don't know what you want, like right away. If you see this on the YouTube video, I could see that there was something in him that he was like, fuck that. But he was like, but he was waiting for the moment to like for that. And that's what a normal conversation is.
Bravo. And that keeps you on your fucking cues, You answer. That's how this whole conversation. Like, I'll never fucking shut up unless you cut me off. That's how it works, and right
there. That was the moment of silence. He was like, "Wait, is he gonna hit me off?"
Yeah.
But Tony, if I just want to wrap up what Tony said in terms.
But we're always processing. Sorry, we're always processing. Always in life, we're always listening. We're always strategizing what we're going to say next. We're always trying to make our points, be clear. What do we want from each other here? I want to be a good guest. You want to be an interesting interviewer. We both want this to be a successful amount of time that we spend together that's worth somebody watching it, right? I want to give you good answers. I want to give you some information, impart some wisdom. Also, I want to make you laugh. I want to crack you up. I don't want to be fucking boring. Even you always have an objective. Always. Acting in life, there's no difference between the two. Acting isn't pretending, it's doing, it's being. I think that's a mistake people make all the time. Like,
one thing I'm going to say here is that notice that when Tony was giving us things, it doesn't have to be one objective that you have and that never changes. You can be multiple objectives, and that's a strategy that actors can use. Figure out 5 things you want in the moment, and they can all be right, and have them all simultaneously.
Yeah. You know what you can't do simultaneously though is your actions. That's where specificity comes in. I embrace, I deny, I reject, I circumvent, I impart, I so on and so forth. Every fucking beat in every script I look at, I break down and I write out my action, my active verbs. And now I'm doing some teaching and coaching, and I find that's the thing a lot of actors who actually work don't do. A lot of actors do it instinctively, but I like to really break it down to know in each moment, am doing this. This is what I am doing. Because
So, Tony,
otherwise,
let me
if
get
you
a
don't know
little
what you're
elaboration
doing,
here.
what the fuck are you doing if you don't know what you're doing?
Well, let me get something here from you here, because I 100% agree with you. And the idea for our listening audience, Tony's talking about in different beats having different verbs. Like you can find a list of every verb, like to love, to hold, to move, to whatever those are. How
It
can
doesn't
an
even have
actor
to
do
be
that?
literal. It doesn't have to be literal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It can be underneath.
My objection can be to blow up the planet with the word hello.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, that's a great example. To blow up the planet with the word hello.
The word hello, you can do, not say. When actors think about how am I going to say it, you're already fucking yourself. It's what am I doing with the line? So I want to walk in. I want to make an impression. Hello, right? I want to fucking murder you. Hello. You know, I want to fuck you. Hello. Whatever it is. What am I doing? I seduce. I reject. I eviscerate. I welcome. Hello. You know, I squash your head. Like whatever it is.
And
but
does
you
that
have
apply
to pick
for you?
one. You have to pick one. You put anybody who's not an actor in front of a fucking camera and say hello, and they're gonna go hello. You know, they're all gonna do it the same way because they only see the word and associate it with a greeting. But it's not. A line in a script is a thing to do, not to say. And you have to figure out, what am I doing with it? And then you can talk to directors. You know, directors say like, I don't know. Say, okay, well, here's what I'm doing. What would you like me to do differently? Acting is doing. Go ahead.
And well, Tony, one of the things that I really liked, and this is a strategy we could take, is for so many actors when they're starting out and when when we're tax credit actors, you know, outside of the LA market, we're tax credit actors. It's like, we need to have 4 lines from like 4 Canadians, or even in Atlanta, wherever you go. So they put you in and they say, what do you want? The show I'm in next, that's actually my line. So what do you want? And that's 3 days, 3 days. That's it. A lot of actions, though. A lot of actions.
Take it.
And the strategy that Tony is giving us is something that you can do as a way to not to like find the correct way to deliver it, but to do quote unquote the work. Take 10 verbs and say the line the way he said it.
There's no correct way.
Yes,
there is no right or wrong. The only David Mamet's book, True and False.
We're gonna do that. That's the next book we're doing.
Okay. That's the only kind of acting there is. That's my Bible. The only kind of acting is true or false. I believe you or I don't. That's it. There's no right way to do a line. A director could ask for a different way, but as long as you're honest and pursuing something and in the moment and listening, that's good acting. The director might want something else. It might not be telling the right story. It could still be good acting and wrong for the scene. But bad acting is never right for the scene, right?
And that goes to, you know, so many casting directors and directors will say, you know, I want to see a strong choice in that audition. I don't care if it's right or wrong, but I want to see that you have an ability to, literally what Tony was just saying, come in and have a strong action there, have a strong choice.
I'll say this about auditions too. I'll just speak when the things pop into my head. They don't ever fucking know what they want. If they knew what they wanted, there wouldn't be auditions. They would just say, call Matt Dillon, call, you know, whoever, call the guy from fucking Suits. They don't know what they want. They have an idea of what they want, but you have to go into the room and say, this is what you want without saying it. And the way to do that is to make strong fucking choices. You know, your biggest asset as an actor is you. How much of you can you bring to this? Because then you don't have to act anything. If you watch my work, I think there's a good variety in the things that I do. But that's the scripts that dictate the variety. I try to just honestly put myself in each scenario, you know, the magical as if or whatever. So I could be playing a tough guy, That's me. I could be playing a fucking idiot. That's me too, you know?
And
It's
I'll
all
tell you
me.
this from experience. If you watch Tony Nappo, he'll come in and he played a totally normal serial killer in the show we were in together. I saw him in a
I shot
beautiful
myself
short
in the
film.
head at the end of that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's right. And I saw you in that beautiful short film about the time traveler trying to connect
it's
to his
beautiful.
wife.
That's a great piece. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I think that was one of your best
I know.
things. And
you know what's fucked up about that? That was part of the 24-hour
4-hour film festival. Yeah.
So they wrote that the night before, sent it to me at like midnight, and it was a fucking 4 or 5 page monologue. What's in there was cut down a bit to make the time work. Not much was cut out, but some was cut out. It was beautiful writing, and I was still learning it while we were shooting my scene partner's coverage, you know, and she was fantastic. Also one of the writers and directors, and beautiful. And so she's doing her bit while I'm working with her, but I'm still reading it and learning it while the camera's on her. So I learned that monologue literally on set while we were shooting it. And that's what I mean about barely learning the lines. I mean,
Because you had the underlining truth and the intention, and you made strong choices.
I knew what I wanted. I wanted this woman to believe that I was her husband who had traveled through time because our child had died, and I wanted to go back and I wanted to go back in time and remarry her and have that child and not allow that child to get hit by a car, you know? It's a really nice piece, and it was fantastic.
And let me just highlight a few things there, because when that scene, hearing this background from it, Tony, one of the things that it really is, you had the sketch of it. You weren't worried about whether it's is or as, none of that stuff. And then you had specific actions in there that allowed you to, in the moment, look spontaneous. Because you use the fact that I don't exactly know the lines here, but I'm trying to figure out what to say. And there was parts there where you were like, you were so desperately trying to get something out and you weren't doing it right. And I could see you think like choosing different ways to
I stumbled over the word, you know, I was trying to keep it at a clip. It was 4 fucking pages. So I was trying to go fast. The most of the
find
ideas
it and post that
and
somewhere. That
words
was a great show.
It's great. It's called, the fuck is it called? I can't even remember what it's called.
Well, you're going to think in about 5 minutes, it'll come in your head.
If you go on YouTube and Tony Nappo demo reel.
Oh, is it in your demo?
2000 or whatever. It's on there somewhere. Yeah, there's really good work on there. Like I've had really good opportunities to work with great people on great things, and I'm really that my last demo, which my agent put together, was really it's good. It's really I'm really proud of it.
So let me jump in and move on with something, because the hard part is I want to ask you about so many things. And so now I want to talk about demos, but I also want to get back to the book for a minute here. But I want to highlight something for other actors, and that Tony is a real actor. And what I mean by that is I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and they were like, you got 3 days on set. That's great. And I'm like, yeah, but fuck the money. I want some juice. Yeah. I want to fucking do, sure. I want, you know? Yeah. And sometimes as working actors, we need those independent roles, the 48-hour film festival roles, to really kind of get that out.
Yeah, for years.
If you're an actor and you're looking to be if you're looking to understand the realities of the acting world, especially outside of Los Angeles, when you want those big, juicy roles, sometimes the only opportunities are going to be independent films and short films and film contests.
You know, like honestly, for the first 10 years of my acting career, I wasn't that good on film. But I was doing theater that whole time, and in theater, it was always demanding. It was always challenging. On film, I just had to stand there with a gun and say "fuck you" or get beat up or beat someone up or get shot. Like I did fuck all for a decade, but I made some money. I built some credits. I built good relationships with the casting directors. I mean, I tell young actors, auditioning is your fucking job. That's your job. If you get booked, great. But if you can't audition, you're done already. You have to fucking go into the room when you're auditioning as if you've been booked and you're showing up to do the work. And I haven't always done that. And when I don't do it, I feel like a piece of shit. And you're compromising your relationships with the casting. You're wasting everyone's time, and you don't deserve to get booked. So if you're a young actor starting out, put that in your head. This is my fucking job. This isn't a way to get a job. This is my fucking job.
Making the casting director look good.
You're gonna book some stuff, and you'll go in for bigger and bigger things, and eventually you can be a national treasure like myself.
Well, because there's a couple things I want to jump into. First, I want to highlight something that Tony's just said. That is one of the reasons I wanted to have you here is I want to talk to realities of the working actor. But then we're going to talk about actions a little bit in the audition, because that's something I want to bring up with you. But first, understand this, fellow actors. As we know, Tony is old, and he just said I was watching an interview with this actor, and she was saying she had just gotten the co-star in a show, and they're like, "So what's it like to be an actor?" And she's like, "God, I've only been acting for 10 years."
Right.
And so many people think that they're going to jump into this world,
right?
And if it doesn't work out within a year or two, they quit. Most quit. They don't realize that. First of all, most casting directors. My other friend Dan, who's in his 60s, he's a lifelong actor like you. He was saying most casting directors won't even take you seriously until they've seen you for a couple of years.
Yeah, that's what my belief is the same. It takes 2 years to build a good relationship with each individual casting director.
Yeah.
And then you got to show up and do a good job
10 years
every
of just
fucking
nothing.
time.
You might have 10 years of what I call being a tax credit actor. You got the 1 or 2 lines, 5 lines or less,
1 or 2 lines. Listen, you need to fucking do it to get good at it.
And that could take years.
Do student films, do fucking free non-union films, do theater, do anything you can to act. Because how the fuck are you going to get good at it? You can take classes all day and night, and that might help you, but
decreasing returns of scale.
It can help you, but exactly. Like how long are you going to pay money to other people to let you act?
And I think a lot of actors will stay in classes for way too long because it's safe, and the director's like, "Oh, you're great. That was great," and they're like, "I'm great. I'm great. I'm great." Let's jump.
And you know what's the other thing?
Go ahead.
Again, just random thoughts, but a thing that isn't taught in school, I think, is how to. I think what you're taught in schools generally is to please the teacher. You think, oh, if I can just convince the teacher I'm good, I'll be okay. And then I see actors who've been around for 30 fucking years still trying to do that with the director on some film set. Was it good? Was it good? Do you like it? Was it?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you need to know as an actor when you're good and when you're not. I know when I'm good. If I'm doing a play, I always read the reviews. And I don't give a fuck what they say. I know if I'm good, but worse, I know when I'm bad. Nobody has to tell me when I'm bad, because I'm only bad for 2 reasons.
Yeah.
There's only 2 reasons. I don't know what I'm doing, or I'm bullshitting. I'm trying to fake an emotion or push, That's the only time you're bad. Any other time, I'm great. I'm good to great. It just may be right or wrong for whatever I'm doing. And that's where a director can help me. But I can't need a director to tell me you're a good actor after 30 years. Like, for fuck's sake.
Well, that's a real actor, right? This is why, Tony, in my opinion, a lot of people don't respect a lot of actors, because they come in with that desperation, that needing to be liked, and that needing to be like, you're good. But I think a real actor comes in and saying, "Hey, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is how I'm going to do it, and this is my contribution to the role."
Yeah, either being desperate or being like ridiculously cocky with nothing to back that up.
Don't talk shit if you can't make hits.
We're all here to collaborate. We're all here to give. What do you bring to the table? What do I bring to the table? It's a collaborative art, and film specifically, but also theater. Like, we need to bring as much of ourselves and our truth to the work as possible, and there's and you need to find a way to do that, and that takes time. You know, going back to what you said about quitting after 2 years, I love this quote: "I can teach you everything you need to know about acting in 20 minutes, but it's going to take you 20 years to become an actor," and I think that's true.
Yeah, the journey.
I think that's
every
absolutely true.
Every year I look back and like every year I'm like, I think I'm fine. I'm making. Something's changing up here. And then I think back, and then a year later I'm like, you didn't know shit. Now something's changing every year, and that's the actor journey.
The second you think I don't have anything left to learn, you're dead. You're dead. You're a fucking hack.
So let's teach some people
I've worked with David Fox, he's got to be 80 or something. I think he just turned 80. And you go into the dressing room an hour and a half before the show, and he's poring over his script. He's mining his script, trying to see if he missed anything. I mean, he's reviewing lines too, but he's also like, you're working at it. He never stops working. He never,
and it's not memorization.
Stops working.
It's not memorization. It's studying. It's seeing. Is there anything else here that I missed?
Yeah.
So let's go back to acting a little bit, Tony. I want to rein it in a bit.
Yeah.
Because now I want to move into something, and I'm actually gonna put Tim on the spot here for a second too. So Timothy.
Okay.
I'm here.
I think he fell asleep.
That's right. Wake up. You
kind of look like Michael Palin. You kind of look like Michael Palin for a second there.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Have you really?
Yeah.
There's no money in looking like Michael Palin.
Well,
so the next section that Michael Shurtleff talks about is how to take care of yourself when a physical activity is required. And I want to what I want to do is this. Okay. First, we're going to get opinions. Then we're going to do challenges. So here's the thing. Let's focus on the audition itself.
Yeah.
You're doing a scene that requires a lot of actions. First, I want to get your ideas towards them. Then I want to see how you might do a certain, I'm going to give you a few different things that happen, and I want to see what you would do with them. Okay. So first, Tony, I'm sure you might have an opinion on this.
Yeah.
Go for it. What would you like? Let's suppose this is like searching through a room, holding a gun, turns around and fires. That's in the audition you have to do.
You know, how do you fire a fucking gun? First of all, you can't have a gun. So you're going to have your finger up or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? This? You know, half the time I'll do this. Bang. Like, if you can't I need a gun to fire a fucking gun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not a mime. It's stupid. It's like kissing somebody. There's nobody fucking there. So I might say, and then we kiss. Like, I don't give a fuck. If you need to see that shit if you need to see me get shot and fall down, fuck you. Don't cast me. I don't care. I mean, I'll give you everything I can give you, but there's some shit you just look like an asshole doing, to be honest.
Miming is a trap.
I can come in with a gun. I can come in with a gun. I can do this if you need it. I can, you know, if you need me to do that, I can do that. But it's all ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I just try to focus on the scene and the objectives and doing the stuff that I can do, and also that I can do in this frame.
So for everyone who's listening, we're talking about a shot where it's barely more than your face, maybe like your upper chest to above your head. Yeah.
Yeah. Usually I think it's, you know, they'll slate you, you know, so they can see your whole body or whatever. And then they'll come in and be like, okay, because they want to see your eyes. They want to see you listening. They want to see your thoughts in your eyes. The action stuff is action stuff. Like,
that'll come if you book it.
You're not gonna give a shit audition, but they said, wow, that guy really falls down great. Let's book him. You know?
And
who gives a shit?
Tim, how would you suppose you had you're an audition and you get slapped that says he's slapped in the face and says, is that the best you got?
So what are you asking me? I'm actually getting slapped.
How would you audition that? What's your mentality towards it?
Am I doing the slapping or receiving the slapping?
You are receiving the slap.
Am And I'm actually getting slapped in an audition.
No, it's an audition. What are you
No.
doing? What are you doing?
Okay. All right.
See, this is my favorite part. Putting Tim on the spot is like my favorite part of this.
Yes. You need another hobby. Well, I mean, it all depends on the context of the line, right? And what type of person I am. Am I aggressive? Am I submissive? My expression and my reaction to that is going to be totally based on who the guy is that's getting
And that
slapped in the
actually-
head.
That gets to how I would kind of do it. When I have those scenes with lots of actions, I'm like you, Tony. I'm not a mime, and I'm not going to fucking mime. Instead, what I focus on is what is my reaction to it.
Yeah,
The action doesn't happen. It's what's my reaction to it.
Yeah. Listen, if you're gonna slap me, I could. It's tight enough. I will do this, right? I could do that.
And just for the listening audience, it's a very subtle react. Like he didn't over. He's like,
I can do that.
Fuck.
If I'm gonna get shot in a scene, I can do this. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's small, right? And it's kind of just a placeholder. Because on set, it'll be completely different.
Yeah. And it's not about the
you wanna
action.
see,
It's about how you react to what just happened.
Yeah. Or you don't even have to do, you can hurt your neck with that. But if you slap me in a scene, I can do this. Fuck. I didn't do anything there except bring a hand up to where you slapped me.
And you reacted to it. You didn't have to go like this.
Or yeah, exactly. Or you slap me and I do nothing. Like, it depends who's slapping. You could slap me and I could do this. Okay.
All right. You know what? Let's do
it?
this.
Is that
Okay.
all you
I
got?
love this. I
That's
love
all you
it.
got?
And it's focusing on, again, my friends, my fellow actors, you lazy bastards. You're not taking enough acting classes and you're not acting enough, you lazy bastards. But what you can learn is this. Don't show up to the scene where you're giving CPR dressed as a doctor and work and spend all your time practicing on being realistic CPR.
Yeah, some
Don't
guys
focus
do that
on
shit.
driving, okay? Instead,
Yeah.
focus on
Yeah.
everything else and just kind of have that as like the hint of an action. The hint of an action. So here it is. This is the acting challenge, okay? Tony Nappo.
Okay.
First credit, according to IMDb, was 1994.
Okay.
We'll see. Let's see what he's learned in all these years. You're in an audition, okay? The line is, but first I need a little something more. Okay, Tim? The line is, but first I need a little something more. Something like that, okay? Then a passionate kiss. Then I meant money.
Okay. Who's doing the kissing?
It is.
Am I leading in to kiss someone, or is someone kissing me?
Someone is kissing you. You say, "I need something more."
I say I need
The other
something
person just says, looks at you.
more.
The stage direction says this. The stage direction says,
Yeah.
a mischievous smile on her face. She leans in and kisses him passionately. And then the follow-up line is like, "I meant more money."
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So here we go. We're gonna go Tony Nappo first, then Tim.
Yeah.
How would you? That's the scene. That's the action. But let's see how you would do this in the audition. People, if you're listening,
Right.
check out our YouTube channel so you can see the magic that's about to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do it too. I'll wait till the end. So I'll learn from both of you and then do it
Okay.
the best. So I'll get the part. Okay. You ready?
Okay. Sure.
So
yeah.
it starts off with your line. I'm gonna need something more.
Okay. First, I'm going to need a little something more. I meant money. That's it.
Bravo. And here's what happened. He didn't. It's all that action didn't do it. He just reacted, and the way he looked is like. It was such a strong choice because it looked so grossed out that he was probably picturing me kissing him.
Yeah. Honestly, whatever I just did there wasn't great because I was watching myself do it in this little corner.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Because you made a
I
strong
just
choice,
wanna keep
Tony,
it simple.
the casting director says, "You know what? We really like that, Tony. But let's do it one more time. And this is something
Yeah,
you've
for
also
sure.
wanted for a really long time." Okay?
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going again. First, I'm going to need a little something more. I meant more money.
Oh, beautiful.
Different choices.
And so what we saw here, was two beautiful, different reactions with two totally different deliveries. And as a casting
You can do
director,
that 1,000 times. Yeah.
and as a casting director, what's important to me is not that you did it the way I needed. It's like, wow, different, strong choice. You, sir,
Well, it depends
are in
who's
consideration.
kissing you, right? Yeah. You could say, first I'm going to need something more. I meant more money. You know?
I meant more money. All right. So Tony.
Yeah, that's like my buddy that's like my dumb buddy's like, what the fuck does he want? Oh, I'll kiss him. What the fuck? As I say that, I remember there's a scene in Stag I did with Jefferson Brown where I'm talking to him saying, I'm trying to say like everybody thinks you're gay, and he kisses me hard, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And then I fucking grab him and stick my tongue down his throat. It's great.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It's a really great scene, actually.
All right. So Tony, now you're the casting director. Okay. Tim is going to audition.
So I have to
for
make
the
shit
same
up
scene.
for you to say?
Tim is auditioning. You can think of something else and a different action if you want for Tim, or the same thing.
Well, it's not really fair. Then it's like everyone's going to be like, I'll give him something different.
Okay.
Fuck, I'm trying to keep it simple.
I can give you some lines here.
I don't fucking know. Yeah, you give Tim some shit.
So the line is, okay, you think of an action, Tony. I'm going to give a line before and a line after. So I'm going to be your reader. Tony's the casting director. And I'm going to say like this, you're late. Tim is going to say traffic. Then I'm going to pull out a gun. Then Tim and I both pull out a gun and then point it at each other.
Okay.
All right. So I say you're late. Tim's line is traffic. And then the actions in this thing we're auditioning for says they pull out guns and point them at each other. And then Tim, why don't you end off with, I guess you've never been to LA before.
Okay. That's pretty good.
I'm going meta with this. I'm going meta. See? All right.
Okay. I'm just watching now. I'm
your reader. I'm not doing shit because I'm the reader, right?
What am I? I'm doing nothing right now, right?
No, you're the casting director,
Tim.
and I want when he's done, throw him a little.
What the fuck do casting
something.
directors do?
Yeah.
Oh, direct him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right, Tim, ready?
What's the last line again? I guess you've never seen LA traffic before?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Ready.
You're late.
Traffic. Well, I guess you've never seen LA traffic before.
It's pretty good. I like that. What I liked about that is that's Tim. I see Tim.
It's his calm with his radio voice because he's got a radio voice. Let's throw him a curveball, Tony.
Okay, curveball is shoot him. Shoot him before you deliver the last line.
Perfect.
Shoot him for telling you you're late.
Ready?
Ready.
You're late.
Traffic. I guess you've never seen LA traffic before.
It's pretty good. I like that.
So I thought that was pretty good. Minimal actions. Here's another curveball. Now do Tony's actions again, but you're not allowed to mime. Just as a challenge for Tim. Okay. Suppose the directors was like, that was really great. We want the same thing, but your hand was a bit in the shot. Just as a challenge. Okay, Tim?
Okay.
Yeah.
You're late.
Traffic. Well, I guess you've never seen LA traffic before.
So reacting instead of doing any of the actions. That's the goal. Bravo. All were good. What did you think, Tony?
It's good. It's good. I hate this kind of shit, but I'm trying to like follow along.
But you're doing great.
Because it's fine. But we're just like
we're playing around. Yeah, we're playing around.
Yeah, we're playing around. We're fucking around. We're exploring, which is different than the work. You know what I mean?
And
like,
our actors,
I don't like to wing things. but I'll try anything, and until I can find out what works best for me.
And so based on what we've learned so far, if this was an actual thing we were auditioning for, this is just scratching the surface. Even though it's going to be 1 or 2 lines and that's all you're auditioning, guess what you're doing? That 1,000 different ways.
Yeah, and the hardest fucking auditions are 1 or 2 line auditions.
What do you
it's
do?
The hardest audition in the world.
Yeah. What do you do, Tony?
So that's why the first time you had me do it, I did nothing, because it really doesn't fucking matter. You know, as long as you just say the words and go home. You got a 2-line audition, say the words and go home. That's it. You know, you're gonna get cast because you're the right height or the right complexion or the right physicality or the right sound. You know, Tim's got that beautiful voice. It's a great fucking voice for a 2-line part, you know? Or me as the fucking, I could be the cab driver in every single movie that's ever been shot in New York. You know, hey, where you going to? All right, we'll be right there. You know.
Well, you know, it's funny because
hey, you kids, slow down.
And it's so funny. What we're talking about again is something that Tony brings up, that it's a theme throughout for my actors listening here. In film and television, it's look, then talent. First, does he look the part? Does she look the part? Okay, now can they act?
I don't know if that's A, B, but they're definitely like 1 and 1A. You know, like you need to have both.
There's an assumption, though.
Now I'm auditioning.
If you're in the room, there's an assumption that you've got some base level acting talent. So I understand Yvonne's rationale. Look,
maybe. Yeah.
But you know, it's funny, talking to Jocelyn.
I don't. Yeah.
Real quick, Tony. So talking to Jocelyn, she said one of the biggest differences that she noticed between acting in Quebec, like in French Canada versus in English Canada, is that in the breakdowns, you'll see, and this is why you have to be very honest in terms of your own personal look, right? You'll see things like short Latino guy, open ethnicity,
you know, now
you're Italian, little overweight.
Listen, here's it's fucking stupid now, honestly. I mean, I'm all for diversity, I'm all for fairness, so on and so forth. But now you can't write in a breakdown someone's short or fat or Italian or attractive. You can't write those words anymore. Which I think is fucking stupid. How do you not describe the character you're looking for?
They become very elaborate in their descriptions.
Right. It's all bullshit. That component of it, I think, is bullshit. You want an overweight actor? You could say, I want an overweight actor. That's not an insult. That's a description. You know, that's what I require for this. You need a thin actor. You need a good looking. Here's the thing. I don't consider myself a good looking or not good looking guy. I'm just like an average guy. But I've never booked anything in my entire 30 years that said good looking. So if I see in a character breakdown, you know, Joshua, good looking, I'm not auditioning for it. I don't give a fuck. That says to me, they're not looking for you. Doesn't matter how good you are. They're not looking for you.
And
now,
I think what you're touching on
I'm going to say this.
Oh, sure. Oh, you finish, Tony.
I just want to say this about talent and the look. After 30 years now, every single audition, you know, here's the key to success in acting. Don't quit and don't die. After 30 years, people have quit and died. The only people left auditioning against me are fucking good. Every single actor is expected to be better than good, but fantastic. And I know most of them, and they are. So then it comes down to look. So that's what I was challenging there. It's not about the look and then talent. At a certain point, everyone who's left is fucking talented with resumes this long. And then it comes to this guy looks most right for the part, you know? But you're right, when you're starting out, it doesn't fucking matter if you're, you know, if they want to knock out blonde bombshell, they're going to cast her. If she sucks, it doesn't matter. they'll they'll probably put the camera on the other character's reaction when she's speaking.
And it's funny. This is something that goes back to what we were saying before, in terms of, and we've been going for a while, and it's went by so fast. So I want to touch. We're going to end off with a little bit of the
How long
realities
we've
of
been
an actor.
talking?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
doing
charge
great.
you some extra money for this.
That's right, huh? I'll give you scale, not a penny more.
Okay, great.
You have to be honest with your look as well.
I know what I am, and my
have
look
to be
has
honest
changed
with it.
over
And
the
you
years.
have to have the discipline to be like, you know what? I'm an overweight person, or I'm not the best looking. Are you going to pull your teeth out? Don't pull your
I
teeth
have
out.
the worst. I'm not going to pull them out. I only have one tooth. This is my only tooth that's mine. The bottom are disasters. I have the worst teeth in the industry. But and I've done like 4 movies with no teeth. But I'm going to buy new teeth hopefully this summer. I'm going to go to the States and get them all pulled out and put new teeth in. But I know I'm not the tallest guy. I have no chin. When I first started acting and I saw myself on the screen, it's like there's a giant forehead, a giant nose, giant lips, no chin. My profile looks like, kind of like a duck or something. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I had to watch things like 3 times so that I could stop just staring at myself. You see my nose on a movie theater screen, it's like a fucking volcano. It's so big, right?
And this is the thing. As an actor, we have to realize that this goes into like everything with your look, your headshots, everything. Yeah. It's not about looking good. It's about looking at who you are.
But for some actors, it is. I mean, for some actors, look at Russell Crowe. When he looked fuckable, I mean, he's a great actor. But when he looked fuckable, he was on top of the world. Now he looks like a big, he looks like he's gone to pot, and his movies go straight to video, and nobody fucking cares. Like there's something to being fuckable, I mean, Amy, what's her name, the comedian?
Schumer.
Yeah, she did a great skit with one of the Arquettes and I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus about they hit a certain age and now they're not fuckable. Vittorio Rossi, a playwright out of Montreal, once told me there's 3 things. There's 3 major things that people look for in an actor: sex appeal, danger, and humor. Some actors only have one of them. I'm trying to look. Walter Matthau, he's funny. He's a funny guy. He's fantastic. Not particularly sexy. He's been dangerous in some of the old stuff I saw too. But if you could have all 3 of those things, like a Brando, like a George Clooney, like a Brad Pitt, you're gold. You're untouchable, right?
Tony, I can't let you get away with saying that because I think that's brilliant. I'm going to quote you.
Okay.
Sex appeal, danger, and humor.
It's Vittorio Rossi. I give Vittorio Rossi all the credit. Sexy, dangerous, and funny. Those are the main 3 things that somebody wants in an actor. And you get a guy like Bill Murray who's funny for years, and then all of a sudden he becomes, he's doing more grounded work now.
He was dangerous in that one movie where he was in that one movie with Robert De Niro, where he got very dangerous.
Right. Except that was a shit movie, but yeah.
Tony, which are you? I know which. I would think you definitely get danger, and I think humor.
I think I have danger and humor. I don't think, I mean, I know I have a sex appeal to people. I don't think I'm good looking in like that. Like people don't stare at me and think, oh my God, I want to fuck them. But, people could talk to me for like 20 minutes. People could talk to me for like 20 minutes and be like, oh, this guy's a smart guy. He's a funny guy. He's a charming guy. I'll fuck him just for something to do. But I'm not, I think when I was younger, probably there might have been more of a sex appeal to me.
Reason I wanted to ask Tony this question is because what you are hearing right now is an actor, is a person who is an actor who can look at themselves the way other people will see them, but also understand what he can bring to the table. Yeah, and you need to have a balance of those 2.
Yeah. You need to know who you are, and you need to have a life outside of this. You know, you need to have life experience to bring to the table, so that so there's an authenticity to what I'm doing. You know, I've had guns here in life. You know, I've done drugs with fucking bikers. I've been to shithole crack houses. I didn't do crack, but I did a lot of coke. And I've also hung out with like movie stars and important, powerful people. You know, and I'm comfortable in either. I'm comfortable anywhere I go, but I also am like always trying to drink up what's around me, you know, so that when I get to stats, it's not like, oh, how do I light this pipe? You know, it's like that. I know how to
You
light
heard
it
it from Tony. Smoke crack if you ever got to be like crack player. You heard it from him. That's not me. That's his fucking Sandy Meisner method, you know, shit.
Even if you don't get the job, you'll
at least you'll get a good hit
about it.
My friends, I can't think of a better way to end today's episode. Tony Nappo, listen, I highly recommend that everyone looks him up. Check out his work, because I think he does great work constantly.
Thanks, buddy.
We're going to share a link to your YouTube demo reel, because I think everyone should check that out.
I'm really proud of it, you know. And listen, I'm not. I can still be shit at times. You know, I'm not delusional, but I would say, you know, pay attention to. Along the way, pay attention to everyone you work with, even the shitty actors, even the assholes. You can learn something from. You know, always be learning. And I'm always studying. I'm always watching. The other day, I watched their documentaries on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Richard Pryor, and Muhammad Ali in the same day, and because I love greatness, and it inspires me. It moves me. And you know what made all those people great? They challenged themselves and everyone else around them. You know, push and work hard all the fucking time. Try to be great. You know, I'm always aiming for great. I think I'm really good, but I'm always shooting for great.
Tony, anything you want to plug or anything you want to tell people about in terms of what you're working on?
No. I guess I should say I'm on this new show, Strays, which is going to premiere September 14th. Outside of that, who cares? You know, I'm in a bunch of stuff, and
this, just so you know, for all his toughness, this is where Tony is vulnerable, because it's hard. It's hard as an actor to be like, watch me. You should watch him.
You know, I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't give a fuck if people watch me.
Well, Tony, I'm telling them to watch you.
I'm not. I know, but you know what I mean. I don't like to sell yourself part of this shit. I don't. When I was young. Sorry, I know
this is the hardest plug I've ever had to do for someone. This is the hardest plug. Shut up, Tony. Shut up. Hey, everyone. Watch Strays, September 14th. We're going to share the link. Don't you say a fucking word. Don't say a word. Shut up. Tony Nappo is great. Listen. I'm going to end with this. He's one of the actors that in Canada is hard to make a career, but he's a working actor, and he works more than most people I know that are working actors. And there's a reason for it. And that's because he is talented and he's a true actor. So please make sure, we're going to share a link to his demo reel. Put compliments in it so he feels uncomfortable, and we will take it from there.
I don't care what you think.
Tony, man, it's been an honor, and it's been so much fun, bro. It's been so much fun.
Thanks for inviting me. Thanks.
Hey, man, it's great talking to you.
I love you too, buddy. I love you, Tim.
See you on set.
Nice meeting you.
Maybe, if you're lucky.
Fucker. All right, get out of here. Thank you, Tony.
Ciao. Ciao, bello. Bye.
And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of The Lazy Actor. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you weren't too lazy to listen to the whole thing. Big thank you to radioradio.com. If you want to make a podcast, if you want to get some voice stuff recorded, check out radioradio.com. If you want to learn more about the acting industry, the acting business, or do some virtual training, check out theactorsplace.org. And that is it. We will see you next time, where we address yet another part of Audition by Michael Shurtleff, my favorite acting book. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next time.